Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Honk honk, everyone. Guys, today I have such a good show for you. Richard Eden has just put out an article that I really want to dive into, and it's talking about just how awful the Sussex squad is. That's right, the rabid Harry and Meghan fans, if you believe that they exist and how truly terrible they are and how they've gone after Catherine. I think this is an important story and one that a lot of us who create content like this have discussed because we've personally experienced things like this. So I want to dive into it. I want to talk about it. I want to read you some of the comments from it and I want to get your take on all of it. If you're new here, I'm Jen. Welcome. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the thumbs up and leave me comments, as all of those help YouTube to recommend my video. And I really appreciate it. Today, I'm Gen X. Why am I Gen X? Because of this. Isn't that cool? I think it's so fun. Yeah, it looks like an X, so why not Gen X? And anyway, let's dive right on in. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Let's talk the mediocre mafia. I don't like talking about them either. I really don't. But I think it's important that we call it out. I think it's important that we continue to discuss it because it is truly awful the way that they've behaved, the way they've gone after people, the way they've gone after Catherine and so many others. And I think it's important to talk about. I'll go into all of it because even more recently, we've seen them. I don't know if you're aware, but they've really gone after Dr. Sophie to the point where I believe she maybe deleted some of her social media. There's something like that because they threw some really disgusting, vile, Eastward language at her. So again, these are people that are supporting Harry and Meghan. And I've always said, listen, you can support who you want to support. There's a respectful way to do it. And then there's whatever they're doing. They don't do that. You can see the clear difference when usually when people talk about Catherine and supporting Catherine and stuff, or even talk against Harry and Meghan, it's, hey, we don't like their behaviors. We don't like their actions, that sort of thing. That is okay. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. And if you have an opinion the other way, I will listen as long as it's a respectful opinion. But even when they've come on my lives before and just gone nuts, and I say, hey, if you tell me why you support Meghan, I'll listen. They can't do it. In my opinion, they seem more like just a hate group, just a bunch of online trolls that aren't really sure why they support Meghan. They just know that they do, whether you believe they're oh, hey, Wonder Woman, this is for you. This is also for Catherine, right? Wonder Woman. But they don't know why they support Meghan. They can't really speak to it, but they do. And they say terrible, vicious, disgusting, awful, disrespectful things. And so anyway, there's a big difference, I think, when you see the squad. And again, Harry and Meghan have appointed themselves what leaders of the internet or whatever it is, guardians of the internet, not guardians of the galaxy, guardians of the internet. And yet they are known to have the worst followers out of all of them, and they say nothing to them. So that makes them complicit, if you ask me. All right. So, the title is Sussex Squad's Sinister Catherine Theories That Left Her Shocked by Virulence. I don't say that word right. At most vulnerable moment. With meticulous research, Richard Eden reveals the toxic truth. So this is a very long article. We're going to hit some of the highlights, and I want to read to you some of the comments because they bring up really interesting points about this. But I think it's important that we continue to share this and share our experiences about what we've gone through with this. I personally, they tried to dox me. It's definitely been a struggle. They've put out some pretty terrible things. But, it's just what they do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying, again, silence from Harry and Meghan always, even though I can't stand Harry and Meghan. I hate their actions. I don't wish them ill will. I don't wish them harm. I think most people fall into this camp. I understand there's always going to be people with mental problems that are outliers, but I don't wish them ill will or harm. You can agree or disagree respectfully. And again, when dealing with the Sussex squad, that doesn't seem to be the case usually. After completing her chemotherapy treatment, Princess of Wales admitted last September that it had been an incredibly tough 9 months. Her traumatic year was made even more horrendous by sustained trolling, online mockery, and abuse that our future queen suffered at the hands of some more fanatical supporters of Harry and Meghan. I came across this toxic phenomenon in the course of researching a new edition of my television program, Reading the Royals, released last night. Typically, Catherine made no public reference to the trolling, although I am told she was well aware of it and shocked by its virulence. Instead, at her Together at Christmas carol service at Westminster Abbey last December, she urged the congregation and the watching TV audience to choose love, not fear, and called for the nation to slow down, reflect on the deeper things that connect us all. I love her. Again, such a positive message, such a wonderful way to rise above. It is so much harder to stay silent when they're coming at you and coming at you. It takes a strong person to do that, but she did it and she's wonderful. And I love Catherine so much. And she chose to stay above it. Good for her. Good for her. The trolling had begun 11 months earlier after Kensington Palace announced in January that last year that the princess had been admitted to the London clinic to undergo planned abdominal surgery. A spokesman said the surgery had been successful and that Catherine would stay at the private hospital for 10 to 14 days before returning home to continue her recovery. Based on the current medical advice, she's unlikely to return to public duties until after Easter, the statement said. It included an appeal for her to be allowed to maintain as much normality for her children as possible, and her wish that her personal medical information remains private. That is so despicable that I remember this, people were trying to go into her personal medical information and discuss things like that and spread it around. I believe somebody was pretending to be a nurse even. It got crazy. However, the plea fell on deaf ears among the Sussex squad. As those two's most devoted fans are known, they demanded to know why Catherine needed so much time. Do you remember? I don't even want to resuscitate those rumors, but there were awful pictures that were manufactured and rumors going around that it was because of terrible things that she suffered. They alleged all kinds of abuse stuff, and it was awful. And it's disgusting and vile. And again, nothing from Harry and Meghan. They are just totally fine with their squad doing that. In fact, I'm sure you've heard, but there are rumblings and rumors that they identify themselves at Harry and Meghan's events so Meghan can go up and take pictures with them. Disgusting. Awful. I know of a TikToker who shall not be named because why give them any publicity whatsoever? You probably know the one that I will say allegedly, even though it's pretty well known, I believe at this point, allegedly made threats of harm toward the Wales children. That is so despicable. I don't care who it is. Think of the worst of the worst of the worst of anybody in the whole world that you can't stand. You do not go after children. That's awful. And yeah, again, the Sussex squad, that's what they did. All right. Disgusting. Awful. The abuse increased the following month after Prince William. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped part. They tried to accuse her, among other things, of being lazy and using her health problems to avoid her duties. Again, let's compare, shall we? So Catherine takes some time off because of medical issues. How many engagements did Harry and Meghan do? I forget. Before it was too hard and they had to leave. Which one of them's lazy? I can't remember. That is disgusting and awful. And again, I looked to her friend, Plastic Man, about Meghan's friend, Omid Scobie, because in that book, he kind of further tried to push that narrative in the book. How confusing. Was it Endgame? Is that what it was? I think so. I don't even want to publicize his book. That stupid book that I read, he was pushing that. And by him, it is my opinion without proof, But my opinion, I have to say that Meghan helped write that book because it was so anti-Catherine, and it said just, again, horrible, degrading things against Catherine. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, that she's not much more than pretty in a dress. Again, this is the feminist Meghan, in my opinion, that is saying these things. And if nothing else, then it's her friend saying these things, and she sure didn't speak up for that. She's fine with that. That's okay. That's all right with her. Disgusting. um, let's see, this increased the following month after Prince William pulled out of a memorial service at St. George's Chapel in Windsor for his godfather, the former King Constantine of Greece. At the last minute, a spokesman for William, who had been due to deliver a reading at the service, cited personal matters. So again, I would like to remind the people that have forgotten, and by that I mean Harry and Meghan's followers, it is alleged that Harry pulled out of a service he was supposed to be at. I believe it was for victims of was it a bombing? Some sort of attack through the military back when he was with the royal family. It is alleged that he pulled out of that and he missed it so he could go make that spectacle of himself at the Lion King premiere. Just think about that, because I think about that a lot. Do you know that my wife does voiceover work? Okay. Do you know that you're despicable and so is your wife? Okay, we all do. But again, his followers can excuse that and be fine with it, and yet this is not allowed. How dare Prince William want to be there for his wife or whatever he had going on? I'm sorry, there's extra allowance made for William because he's future king. I'm sorry, it's just how it works. I don't think there's any problem with that. But even that aside, that, if he went to be with his wife, then what is the problem? An attempt to shut down public concern, Kensington Palace issued a brief statement, update about Catherine's health, saying she continues to be doing well. We later learned that Catherine was diagnosed with cancer in February, with the princess starting a course of preventative chemotherapy later that same month. By late February, we all knew that Catherine had undergone abdominal surgery earlier in the year. She was recovering at home, but doing well. This wasn't enough to silence the online conspiracy theories. It reached a fever pitch. I've never seen anything like that. I was just so completely disgusted. And again, just more reason to stay off social media. It really is. It's just awful that Where's Kate was trending, Where's Kate Middleton, variations of that. And again, they were using AI images and adding, that I saw, like bruises and stuff, and said that she was being YouTube doesn't like certain words, so I'm trying to choose them carefully, mistreated in the most horrible way at the hands of Prince William. They were just going around. In response to the rampant online speculation, a spokesman said Kensington Palace made it clear in January that the timelines of the princess's recovery, and we'd only be providing significant updates. That guidance stands. The spokesman reiterated once again that Catherine was doing well. Unfortunately, the princess's silence only encouraged more sinister theories to come thick and fast. Heaven forbid she takes some time and recover and rest and spend time with her family. And again, this mob, this awfulness, they're disgusting. I cannot with them. They're vile and it's sick. A poll at the time indicated that half the population of Britain admitted to have read conspiracy theories about the princess online. It is my personal opinion that this is just my opinion. I cannot prove it. So again, this is entertainment purposes only. My personal opinion is Meghan is behind a lot of these. She is threatened by Catherine. So there are online accounts that I personally believe Meghan is behind that were saying some of the most awful things, and then spreading this around. And even if she's not behind it, again, not saying a word while complaining in interviews how hard it is for her, talking about Meghan and Harry, how hard it is for them. Yet Catherine was actually going through this stuff and dealing with all this at the same time. My heart breaks for Catherine. She is such a strong woman. She really is. In March, the palace released an unprecedentedly personal and emotional video message from Catherine herself. Who could forget? I loved it. In the footage filmed at Windsor, Catherine revealed that she had been diagnosed with cancer, and the news came as a huge shock. I was thinking of the video. I smiled for a second because I thought it was the video. I'm getting confused with the family. This was when she announced it. Oh my God, it's so sad. Speaking from a bench surrounded by daffodils and spring blossom, the future queen confirmed her condition was discovered only after she underwent major abdominal surgery in January. But she kept back certain crucial information. And in the wake of the video release, Kensington Palace said it would not be sharing details of what kind of cancer the princess had. It's nobody's business. It is nobody's business. And they pled with people not to speculate. Again, even with Meghan, I can't stand Meghan, but I refused. And with Harry, there was something going around about his health or mental health at some point. And I even said, I won't speculate, even on people. It's if I'm going to call it out that they're doing it on Catherine, I'm not going to do it on Harry and Meghan. I don't talk about, hey, did Meghan have a hysterectomy? I've heard the rumors, but I don't talk about it because, again, when you go into medical things on people, I think it's off limits. I don't think it's up for debate or discussion. That is private and confidential. And it just sickens me what these trolls have done. It really does. Because I know Catherine's strong and she's protected, but think about, the kids and the family and her parents and her siblings and stuff, they all had to deal with this and live with this. Oh, it's awful. Within minutes of her announcement, again, the trolls began. That's what I'm talking about with the AI images. The sickening uploads saw them. Yeah, I can't. We're going to keep going. I saw that, and I saw, I don't even like to talk about it because it just reignites it, but the speculation about William having another situation. But as the trolls went low, Catherine rose higher. I love Catherine so much. If you didn't love her before, my God. After all this, again, she just stayed silent. She didn't have to speak up. She didn't know anything about her medical diagnosis. That is personal and private. She spoke up, and in my opinion, she never came out and said this, but in my opinion, it's to help those who have been through or are experiencing diagnosis with either themselves or a family member or a loved one. She sent out messages of hope and love and staying strong and the importance of getting medical checkup, all this stuff. And again, I love her. I think she's a really strong, wonderful woman. I really do. And look no further than this. It was awful what they did to her, and she rose above it. I love her. Okay. So you get the idea. I'm going to go on to the comments because this is what I really want to get into. There are some comments here. The rest is all stuff we knew about. Again, the trolling, how she rose above, and she is absolutely wonderful. Let's read some of the comments because I think it's important and something that a lot of us have experienced from the mediocre mafia. Here we go. Catherine has never put a foot wrong. She's the epitome of elegance and integrity. No way would anyone get away with being cruel to her in public. Well, unfortunately, I wish that was the case. I think back to her early days. They were cruel to her in public, but I get what you're saying now. Yeah. Harry and Meghan haven't said one word exactly this against their followers' nasty comments and attacks on Catherine. As Meghan has said, if you're complacent, you're complicit. Therefore, those two are complicit. I agree wholeheartedly. Exactly that. Catherine gets very good press overall, and she deserves it. A few trolls don't matter. I love to look at it that way. Unfortunately, it was more than a few trolls, but I like that. I like taking on that mentality. A few trolls don't matter. Let them talk if they're talking about you. I don't know. I've experienced some stuff You guys know I have, and if they're talking about you, they're just using you to try to get clicks, and they're pretty damn pathetic if you ask me. So there's that. Let's keep going. H&M advocating censorship of social media, yet didn't denounce their supporters' treatment of Catherine when she was battling her health issues. Their silence speaks volume. Exactly. They only want censorship when it applies to them, meaning if people are talking about them, they want to censor you. But if you're pro Harry and Meghan and you say the most cruel, despicable things, they want to silence you. I mean, sorry, I said that the backwards. If you're pro Harry and Meghan, they want you to speak up. If you're anti Harry and Meghan, if you're even just presenting facts, not targeting them in a personal manner, they want to silence you. That's what I was trying to say. Where were Harry and Meghan when the trolling happened? They should have immediately condemned it, but their silence spoke volumes. They are not good people. I tend to agree with that. The Sussex squad and Sugars are awful. One of them in Florida who started false rumors about both William and Catherine lives in Florida. It's not me. I believe when her identity was uncovered and she was confronted by a journalist, she admitted there were faults and she didn't care. She was posting rumors she made up. Now, I'd like to remind you that that's not the first time something associated with Harry and Meghan has been outed as being made up. What was his name? Hold on. It's on the tip of my tongue. His sister was on Taskmaster. Is it Nigel Corrin? Is that his name? I might have a little bit wrong. That journalist that printed that stuff that I don't even want to give attention to. Allegedly, there was a journalist that made up some stuff about William that has persisted. And the rumor is, if you know, I tend to feel this way. They think that Meghan got to this guy, planted this story, he spread it around, and when they called him on it, he had to backtrack and say, nope, not true. And it's the one you all know about. I don't even like to say it. We have actually seen the Sussex squad astroturfing here many times over. So we do know what Richard Eden is talking about. Astroturfing. They are vile. I think so too. What about the eastwards toward Harry and Meghan? Look at this answer. Harry is white. Meghan is only black when it's convenient. You can decide if you agree with that or not. I tend to think the same. Wimpy, Harry, and Mouthy Markle are just poison. I tend to think the same. Oh, we said that one. Okay, so the followers and supporters of Harry and Meghan accuse Catherine of using her illness to avoid her duties. Seriously now, supporters of Harry and Meghan who left the country and his family to avoid doing any kind of duties, yet still wanted the royal status, prestige, and of course, money. Grifters, ding, ding, ding. That's it. How do you explain that? You can't. You can't explain it. Again, I'm talking reason and logic and common sense. And these are things that totally escape the mediocre mafia, right? I'm going to leave this here. I think it's important that we talk about it. I know Dan Wooten has talked about it. Richard Eden has talked about it. I've talked about it. Probably any of your favorite YouTubers that cover this stuff have talked about it. So I think it's important to get it out there. So I do want to remind you, yeah, I pulled some notes. It was that Sophie Canduka, Dr. Sophie, that was vile and awful. And they threw disgusting slurs at her. Let's see, was there doxing and threats have been a routine part of the Sussex squad. I know I've experienced that. Again, they've targeted the Princess of Wales. They've started organized trolling campaigns. Again, where Harry and Meghan through this. The hypocrisy and selective outrage is just par for the course with Harry and Meghan. And they have tangible consequences, such as, again, I go back to Dr. Chanduka and her withdrawal from social media because of she reports an emotional toll. And a lot of journalists have discussed this, the emotional toll it's taken on them. And they've had to work around the the sewer squad. And again, Harry and Meghan, where's where's their outrage on that? It's only when it's aimed at them. Otherwise, they're fine with it. Ugh, despicable. All right, I'm going to leave this here. I'm dying to know your thoughts on all this. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate it. I can't wait to read your thoughts on all this. Let me know. Are you still seeing it? It's not as bad. I noticed that when one of my videos does well, I'll sometimes still get comments, especially if a short does well, because it brings in people that aren't necessarily subscribed or don't normally watch my channel. It'll bring in other people. And so that's when sometimes I'll get the, you're jealous. Yeah, you're the story, whatever. But it's not as bad. I wonder if they're just not so much on the payroll these days because so much other stuff is going on with Harry and Meghan. So let me know if you still see it. I do see it on that that one Reddit group. It's so pathetic that are pro Harry and Meghan. The way they spin things for them is so, it's just crazy. It's just like, how do you see the sky as green? I cannot make sense out of that, but they do. Anyway, all right, I'm leaving this here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want to further support, you know how to do it. Check out the merch. Everything's fine. Team Catherine. Love Catherine so much. And also check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. It's my old name. It's tons of new content, hundreds of bonus videos. Check that out if you're the least bit interested. Thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting. Thank you for my executive geese and ganders who support the show. I really appreciate it. I couldn't do it without all your support. It means the world to me. And I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I hope you guys have the best day. And I'll talk to you again soon. I love Catherine so much. I just wanted to say that. Okay, bye. Okay, they're gone. Hi, I have even more of you saying this is your favorite part. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. X marks the spot, right? I really like this shirt. I thought it was fun. I just thought it was cute. But oh, I love Catherine so much. If you didn't love her before, how can you not just absolutely love her after seeing and thinking back? Oh, that was my chair. That was my chair. Everybody calm down. That was my chair. No, but after thinking about everything she's been through and everything she's put up with and everything, just all of it, going through all the medical stuff and raising her babies and, being a supportive wife and future queen and everything in between. And they said she was working from bed and stuff and going through all that and having to deal with this. And hopefully she really was shielded and protected. But I mean, I'm not going into it. I'm not going to discuss it or give it any publicity whatsoever. If you know, you know. I've been through it and in a very, very, very small degree comparatively, but I have. And not said a word because why would I give that any publicity whatsoever? If you're hanging on to somebody's coattail, you're pretty damn pathetic. If you ask me, if you're hanging on to my coattails, you're pretty damn pathetic. And you know who I'm talking to. All right, I'm leaving this. But no, it's fine. It's not even worth looking into anymore. It's fine. I'd just say in a world of Meghan's, be a Catherine. Look to Catherine. Catherine didn't say anything. So neither did I. Catherine's wonderful. There you go. I love her. I really do. She's such a strong woman. I say we because I think the royal family is part mine too. I just love you guys so much. But we've been so blessed with the strong women. Think about, again, our Catherine, Her Majesty the late Queen, Sophie, Camilla, like you name it. It's been wonderful. So I love Catherine so much. She's my personal fave. I really do. Anyway, I'm leaving this here. Thank you guys for being so wonderful and kind and supportive and all the things. I hope you all have the best day. I would say I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this, but I can't wait to bring you more positive stuff about the Wales family. How about that? Let me know your thoughts on all this. If you stayed tuned to the end, how about, let's see. I'm Gen X, if you want to leave what gen you are, if you want to, you don't have to, what generation. I think I'm borderline X or millennial, depending on how you look at it, but I go with X. I'm good with X. I don't need to be a millennial. So let me know what generation you're in if you want to, or just a name you like. I can tell you my Gosling is Gen Alpha, which makes me feel old. Gen Alpha. The next generation is Gen Beta. I would not want to be a part of Gen Beta because that just sounds sad. All right. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have the best day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Oh, goodness gracious.